All right, so let's get into a simple framework and understanding of how to write a business plan. So I'm going to put it in a very simple way. That way you can begin to execute. And of course, you begin to adjust and, do whatever you need to do as you go because you're always adjusting. That's normal. That's good. You should be looking to do things better all the time, right? So let's get just a simple framework to build a business plan. And this is going to be 4 areas. Okay, 4 areas to think through and assess. And this will begin to provide a framework for the business plan. Okay, so here are the 4, and then I'll start to break down the 4 after. It's people, opportunity, context, risk, and reward. People, opportunity, context, risk, and reward. Okay, 4 different ones. So let's talk about people. So this is internal and external team. So who will be your team internally, your staff, your employees, the ones who will be working under your company, under you, with you, a part of your team. This is not an external contract, contracting someone externally, because that's the second part. Okay, so who will be your internal team? Starting and running the business. Who is the staff? Start to think of the job functions, their daily functions, what kind of systems they're going to be using. These are all things to begin to think through and assess. That's going to really help you to really, establish this business. So again, the first one is people. This is internal and external. Okay, starting with internal. Who is going to be starting and running the business? Who is your staff? Who's going to be the people who are on your team? And what are their jobs and functions and the systems that they're going to have to get their things done? You start to think about, what their goals are, how you're going to measure those goals, and what systems you're going to use to keep those goals to continue to be measured. All right. So now, second part, who will be external if you need. You don't always need, but this is something to think through and assess. These are people like maybe accountants or lawyers or suppliers or maybe external salespeople. Maybe you need, things printed. So you hire somebody else like printers to do different material. So you got to have a list of these people too and start to develop a relationship with them and get some kind of package or plan with these people who you need outside, who are working with you in your business, but not necessarily in your business. Okay. So with them, you need to create a profile for that business or that service or that person that's working externally with your business. Create a profile for you to create a database so that you can have organization with all these things. And then you have to create some kind of system so you can create and maintain relationship with them. Especially if they're going to be representing you, you have to be able to, almost still bring them in and connect them, engage them and train them and teach them, keep them fresh in everything that you're doing, like if they are working with you, okay? So that's the first part, people. Now, opportunity. This is a business profile. This is like, okay, what are the products and services for your business? What are they? And have clear descriptions with the benefits. And this is where you begin to, as you're sharing the benefits, you want to engage the emotion of the people because, marketing, sales is a transfer of an emotion. People want to buy your product or service because of something of how it's going to make them feel after. So in your writing your descriptions right now and the benefits that are attached to the descriptions, write something that's going to engage the emotions. Okay. Again, right now we're talking about the opportunity. This is the business profile. Okay, so what are your products and services? Start to break down the descriptions, the benefits, how they work. Not just so much the features, you can have that there, but more on the benefits because that engages emotion. Do you have package deals? Is there any kind of package deals that you have or special things that you have that you could, offer as far as opportunity? Okay, so now what's the next part of the opportunity? Again, this is your business profile. So what is the business growth projection? How is your business going to grow and how fast? Of course, nobody knows, but you need to have some kind of projections here and real numbers, real stats, do some real research so that okay, what are some projections that I have that I can go for, create a goal of how your business will grow and how fast and be real, right? Also start to break down what is the overhead for you to run the business. Now that you talked about what people are there, what your products and services are. You broke them down, the systems that you're going to need if you need to distribute. What is the overhead to run the business? You got to get some numbers down, right? So you can really see. If you can't measure, you can't manage. And if you don't measure, you can't manage, you can't grow it. What is the cost of growth? Okay, this is still a part of opportunity. So, okay, yeah, this is overhead. This is what I need just to freaking stay alive, this to run the business. But what is the cost of growth? How am I going to promote and market? What kind of supplies and equipment am I going to need to grow my business? Okay, this is all part of the business plan. And then the last thing is when it comes to the opportunity, I want you to start to break down 3 phases of growth. 3 phases of growth. Here is the first phase of the growth. Here's the second, and here's the third. I would recommend you start with the outcome, like go to the third phase. This is where we're going. This is the main thing. This is where it's just booming and there's a momentum and the business is good. Start with the last phase. That way you can work your way backwards to create a pathway for you to get there. So start with phase 3. This is the main goal where you want to go with the business. And then phase 2, phase 1. Now, in each of those phases of growth, you need to have 3 potential obstacles and 3 solutions for those obstacles. You got that? So phase 1, we're going to do this, this, and this. This is how we're going to grow it. Now, in this phase of growth, there is potential obstacles. And here are 3 that I'm recognizing right now. So here are 3 obstacles, but here are solutions for each of those obstacles. You got that? And you do that for each of the phases. That's the opportunity. Now you go to the next part, context. Context, this is an envisioning. This is a practice. This is big picture stuff. You understanding that the demographic trends. This is a practice. It's something you have to keep doing, right? What are the trends of the demographic right now for your business? What in the industry what is the current pricing of the competitors? This is all a part of the research and the business plan you need to put together. Start researching your competitors and see what they're charging, what their services are, what they're offering. Why does your audience want and need your product and service? These are things for you to think through, assess, write out, because it's going to be a part of your business plan. What does your audience, your target market, what do they want and need? Why would they want and need your product or service? Break that down. Next part, next question or thing for you to think through and assess. Where has this industry been for the last 10, 5, 3, and 1 year? That way you can start seeing the patterns that are here and seeing the up and downs, and you can begin to see patterns that will help you to be able to be more effective. Okay, so where has the industry been in the last 10, 5, 3, 1 year? Where have this? Well, now you have to project. Be futuristic here. Where do you see the industry going in the future for the next 10, 5, 3, 1 year? Okay, again, this is big picture stuff. This is context that's going to help you to guide and build your business. Okay, so break all that down. Now, the last part, this is the risk and reward. Risk and reward. This is assessing. What are all the things that can go wrong? Risk, reward, right? So now you got to break down all the freaking things that can possibly go wrong. Now, write down all the things that can possibly go right. This is you assessing the risk and reward. So break all that down and think it through, assess it. Next part, create strategies and systems for when things go wrong. So now you have that list of all the possible things that can go wrong, right? So now you got to create some strategy and systems. Okay, if this go wrong, this is what we're going to do. This is the strategy of what we're going to do. And this is a system that we're going to use to do it every time, right? And then also you want to create strategies and systems for when things go right. You got to do both. So those are the 4 areas, and those are the things to think through and assess, begin to write down that will start to help you to create a good business plan. People, opportunity, context, risk, and reward. So start to, listen to this audio over and over, listen to the questions. Don't put yourself in the box, but just start to think through. This helps you to imagine and see where you are, what you need to do, and where you're going. And that's for you to have a basic foundation of writing a business plan.